Hello out there, and thanks again for joining us on another episode of Public Conscience on Radio. I am Okiria Agbonsuremi. Public Conscience on Radio is an anti-corruption program produced by the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development with support from the MacArthur Foundation. And with me is my co-presenter, Chukwudi Okolie Ubaja.
Good to be here as always.
Of course, way into the program, you will hear from Adaobi Obiabumo when we begin to take the reactions from previous episodes of the program. We are today addressing a case of donations taken from the public, but which to journalists at the International Center for Investigative Reporting, ICIR, lack transparency in terms of how they are utilized. We are referring to the in-flight donations which Dana Airlines sought and are reportedly still seeking from passengers, ostensibly to support people with sickle cell. That project was an initiative between Dana Airlines and the Nigerian Sickle Cell Foundation.
Yes, Ohiria. And as at the time of the launch of the in-flight envelope donation, ICIR reports that the collaboration was to raise money to support persons with sickle cell, just as you hinted earlier. Program coordinator of Sickle Cell Foundation of Nigeria, Ebenezer Adeleye, actually believes that if Dana had not decided to go solo about the donation, the foundation surely would still have been finding proceeds from that project highly useful.
And that returns us to the crux of the matter. Dana at a point decided to go all alone. We call it going solo, to go the in-flight donations as just indicated, leaving out their partners, the Sickle Cell Foundation. The Sickle Cell Foundation, to get a good understanding of the matter and why questions are being raised by ICR, we have on the program and in the studio the editor who's actually supervised and saw that this report was adequately covered, had all the sides to it, and they are still monitoring. Ajibola Hamzat will be talking to us. I want to welcome him to the program. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much, Austin.
Give us a brief summary of this report. How did you get interested in it? And what was the motivation? What is the public interest in this report that you went out to do?
So thank you very much again. This is a story that started in July 2018, and I think one of our staffs was coming from Lagos, and he was asked to take the envelopes, and he realized that this has been the normal practice of Dana anytime he travels on air, that Dana gives you an envelope and for donation, and he was asking during one of our editorial meetings that this money that Dana has been collecting over the years, where does it go to? How do they manage it? Is it a foundation? Is it Dana Group? Who exactly is actually managing
part of the ticketing money?
That kind of question. So it was that question that led us to.
Let me ask you, you are guys who have your ear to the ground. It's like releasing a bloodhound to go and get, some criminal somewhere. That propels your action. Let me ask you, in the course of this work, would you say you were satisfied with the cooperation you got from Dana as well as the Sickle Cell Foundation?
Well, for Sickle Cell Foundation, I think, we got good response from them because they spoke to us when we asked them to. But Dana was so difficult. It was difficult to talk to the spokesperson. It was difficult to talk to some other officials of the organization. And all the mails and text messages we sent to them were not replied. When we seemed to be getting our way through, the appointment was cancelled again when a reporter had already booked flight to meet them at their headquarters in Lagos. So all the while, we didn't get much of support from Dana.
And they didn't tell you why? They were kind of hedging?
Yeah, that's what we think. We think that we're trying to stonewall all from the beginning to the end.
Let's narrow down so that those who are watching and those who are listening will get the correct picture. Were there monies actually collected? Do you have a finger on how much was collected? Were there some benefits to the Sickle Cell Foundation? Did they get any fund from your investigation? Did they get any money? And do you think there was a gap from your investigation as monies that were not accounted for, or that the public who donated this money didn't know what Dana Airlines used the money for?
Austin, those are the questions we are actually finding answers to in our report. When we realize that a foundation, Sri Vadana Foundation, has been collecting money from Nigeria since 2014 when Dana started operation again, we wanted to know how much has been collected from Nigerians.
Yes.
And how they said also that they were distributing this money to different orphanages and organizations that need the money.
Apart from the Sickle Cell Foundation?
No, apart from the Sickle Cell Foundation. So we wanted to find out how much are they giving to each of these organizations, how much they have left, how are they spending this money? Because it is Nigerians' money. So we just want to know answers to those questions. And that was what kickstarted the story.
Now, how much did the Sickle Cell Foundation confided in you they collected through this period?
So there's a story to that. You know, before Dana actually went solo, as you rightly introduced, it was Dana and Sickle Cell Foundation that was doing this before. In fact, the idea, we're told, is the idea of the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. They approached Bellevue, and Bellevue, you know, they were doing this together, collecting money for the foundation for the time Bellevue lasted, and then the accident happened in 2009, and then they joined with Dana. So when Dana joined them, they were collecting this money from 2012 to 2014, and within that period of time, 18 million naira.
80 or 18?
18
million were raised.
Yeah. And we were told by the program head of Sickle Cell Foundation, and that's Mr. Ebenezer Adeleye.
Yes, I am looking at a situation that seems so odd to me. I don't think there's anything wrong in anyone wanting to engage philanthropy, and nothing ties you to an original partner. But there must be propriety in terms of severing relations and starting your own. I am surprised that there seems to be a time lag between when they left Ghana and when they were, so to speak, forced to register an NGO that would now be the warehouse for that money. I mean, what could have caused that? And how could they have escaped attention? CAC didn't know. No other agency knew. They were just collecting this money without registering.
That was exactly
from the report.
Yeah, that was exactly what raised suspicion. Because in July, when we started asking questions, we wanted to know how much, where was the money going to. We didn't get answer. We were asking them, we didn't get answer. And then we found out that the organization that was collecting this money was not even registered with CAC. And lo and behold, 2 months after their investigation started, we checked again, and we realized that Sri Vandana has been registered by CAC. So that means that all the money that has been collected between 2014...
They probably had no account.
Yeah.
Because before you go to the bank to open an account, you have to be registered.
Yes.
So did you find out from Dana where they were housing the money?
That's the point.
Since they couldn't have opened an account for this foundation.
Yeah, that's another shocking findings that we discovered, because as on the envelope the account number was there, and the bank is Wema Bank. So we were also worried that how would Wema Bank register or open an account for an organization that is not registered with CAC, because that's against the law. So we try to reach out to Wema Bank as well and try to find out from them, how did you do it for this organization that was not registered with CAC and they have an account with you?
So what did you find?
Of course, Wema also tried to decline all the comments, all the questions, all attempt to get to them. They pushed us back.
Same stonewalling.
Same stonewalling. The communication manager, I think her name is Fumi Falola, is the head of brand and marketing communication at Wema. We tried to reach out to her. We sent a mail to her.
Did you find any nexus between Sickle Cell Foundation and Wema Bank? Or was there any link, any color, any relationship?
No. What we basically found is that the new account with which Sri Vandana is collecting money from Nigeria is warehoused by Wema. So we could not.
So what do we say now? We have an organization that had this spirit to assist the sickle cell people with sickle cell. They had an understanding with the Sickle Cell Foundation, but they ran in quote, like you also said in your report, illegally because they were not registered.
In fact, that was the story that we heard when we started digging, and we found we got invited to Lagos. No, we went to Lagos to go and see Sickle Cell Foundation, and the man told us that initially they were in partnership. But after some time, when Dana realized that the money they were making was good enough, and they edged them aside.
So, I don't understand that.
You know, like
they had an agreement.
They had to
use sickle cell in their airlines to raise money. At some point, they now told Sickle Cell Foundation, look, or they didn't even tell them. They just edged them aside.
I think what happened was that after the accident, the crash of Dana in 2012.
Yes.
So that stopped everything. The partnership between
when they came back.
So when they came back, I think the foundation approached them again to continue the partnership. Now they told them that, look, we no longer can continue with you because we now have our own
foundation. Was there an accountability meeting to say, look, all this while we have been relating with you, did the Sickle Cell Foundation tell you that, look, at the end of the program, we now had a meeting, or did Dana Ed tell the public through a press conference that, look, this is how much we have collected from your generous donations, and this is what we have done. A check has been issued to, this is the final. Was there anything of such?
Yes, Mr. Adeleye was the only one who could tell us that. He said that when they were operating with Dana between 2009 and 2012, that's almost 2.5 years.
That was the time they were not registered.
That was the time they were not registered. But I think it was the idea of the foundation, Sickle Cell Foundation, that time. So the money they raised that time, the two parties will sit down and account for it one by one, and they will log it, and then they will show them.
So where is the gray areas now?
So
where lie the gray areas? They were doing that at the beginning.
The gray areas for us is that from that point onward, when Dana started again under a new organization, we wanted to know how much they were making, or they've made between that time till date,
and for them to account.
And how are they distributing that money to organizations they said they are, distributing the money to, and how much have they collected from Nigeria so far?
Okay, let's be mindful of the fact that this is an open program. Public conscience is designed to prick the conscience of the people. We're not just doing for government, we also do accountability. This is a question of actually an accountability kind of focus we have on Dana Air. You go to the public, those who sit down inside your plane, you tell them, look, we have a laudable project, we want to support the Sickle Cell Foundation, we want to support those with cancer, whatever program you want to do, please give us money, and then they give you money, and at the end of the day, you are not coming out to tell the people, as you give out this money, accountability was missing. And secondly, at some point, there were no registration, which means you were actually operating without. It is also clear that in Nigeria, some NGOs may actually operate without registration, but it is not legal to operate without registration in Nigeria. We cannot begin to justify why an organization like Dana will run a charity that is not registered. Secondly, once the journalists come to you to say, look, this is what we have found, Dana has not found it expedient to quickly come up and say, look, this is what we have. I can also quickly tell you that we have spoken with the spokesperson for Dana, Kingsley is a very wonderful personality who told me that, look, everything is recorded. They didn't mean well to defraud the public, and that they have all the clean records. But why they are not making it available to the public or to the journalists who are making inquiries is a different matter altogether. And we have promised them that they have a field day coming on this program to explain to Nigerians. But unfortunately, they said it was too busy today to be on. Would have put a phone call to him to tell us, what probably transpired.
He told you that there's no intention to defraud the public.
They said they had no intention to defraud the public, and that what they have done, they have records of them. They were not registered. Yes, he admitted, but that over 80% of NGOs in Nigeria actually run before they get registered, and that there could have been a gap, or that there were records.
Austin, in fact, our intention is not to tell Nigerians that they are fraudulent in their ways, and our intention is to say that, look, you have to be open. You have to be accountable. You have to be transparent when you are collecting money from Nigerians. And isn't what that you mentioned, our reporter actually spoke with him as well, They had a very long conversation. They had an agreement to meet in Lagos on Monday, I think about 2 weeks ago. But 2 days after our reporters has bought the ticket to go to Lagos, he cancelled the meeting, saying that he was going to worry. And then, okay, if you're going to, can we speak to someone else who also has the authority to speak? He could not do that. We got to Lagos, and we went to the office in Isolo and made an attempt to
get their own side of the story.
But
does it appear they are not willing to talk?
Of
Because
course,
from what you told me now, they are willing to talk.
No.
They are willing to come on and explain.
That was not the impression that we got. The impression we got was that they were not willing to talk because we gave them all the chances to speak and they declined.
Well, let's hope that the situation has changed. They are willing to talk.
No, I don't even believe. I'm not likely, Chukwudi.
Yes.
I'm not likely until they come on air. I'm not likely to take them seriously. Because once a media house has raised an issue, what is the difficulty in bringing the account and publicizing them?
That's the easy way to
It's
go.
a very easy way to go and say,
So
look,
what
this
is the
order
motive for
will
not doing that?
What's the motive for not doing that?
Are the donations still going on?
Of course. If you travel with Dana Air today, the chances is very strong that you're still going to have a copy of the envelope
Without an open accountability forum.
Without an open accountability forum.
Of course, they have said they have changed their focus from sickle cell to cancer now.
Okay,
one of the disclosures, he told me they have changed from their focus from sickle cell to cancer and such other groups that they are.
So the question is, which organization are they funding without donation? How much do they give to them? How do they disburse the money?
Are they?
How open are they?
You indicated
how much of that money are given to those organizations? Those are the questions that Nigerians are interested to know.
You indicated somewhere in your report that you were referred to a location which till date you were not able to actually authenticate as representing anything.
Yeah.
Which organization was that and where is it located?
They mentioned that somewhere in Nigeria that they have an orphanage in Nigeria that that they donate money to in Aja, and
you went to Aja.
We asked a reporter to go and find that place. Number one, the address is not there. It's not. They just mentioned Aja. I mean, you can't be roving around of it. So we asked him. we asked him to also check the list of the orphanages in Lagos to see whether that name appears there. It was not there. So, and then those are the dark spots that we see in the course of our investigation, and we needed them to throw light on this. We made efforts to ensure that Kingsley says something about some of those questions. Even if you just have to send a report, you don't have to say, just send a report. Do you file annual report to CAC?
Yes.
I mean,
do you hold periodic meetings?
Do you hold periodic meetings?
Do you talk to the media?
Exactly.
Do you
things like that.
The press?
Just send us documents that you have that will show your transparency and accountability. If you don't have time to speak to us, just send documents.
There should be nothing cloudy.
That's where
exactly.
That's where the issues are. Let's admit the public and share with us their own views, what they think about charity in Nigeria, what they think about people who are volunteering. And we situated within the purview of Dana, the story we have told you. They are running a charity. They ran for some time without registration, collected money, and the reporters who investigated their activities say they are not open, they are not transparent, and they have not told the public how much they got. And the partners they had, the Sickle Cell Foundation, says if they were forthcoming with all that came to them, probably they would have had less of problems, which means there was a gap. What do you think about the Dana activity with this charity? And how do we really situate the charity effort in Nigeria? What do you think should have been done? Is there anything Nigerians should know about the activities of charity with the Dana charity? How often do we donate? And how often do we also ask questions about the monies we donated, what they are used for? You can join us in this conversation, call from time to time, even after the program. You can also send that message to us now on that line. It's 090-2265-6167. That is 090-2265-6167. Chikudi.
While those calls are being expected, we of course would want to think that with what is happening across Nigeria, it's not just this Dana matter. Maybe the public should insist beyond something being labeled on an envelope. for them to say, this is what you have done with the money. Just give a brief account of where it has been. Give them some information so that people...
We've got the calls coming now. Let's see who is talking. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. And, Adewumi, thank you so much. Go straight to the point.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask them, how far have they gone? Maybe like to inform ICPC or EFCC. Because I think this is the type of case that they're supposed to let EFCC know, so that we know how serious are we in Nigeria. Not like a case that is not so, which EFCC handle. This is the case that we need, because a group of people will use somebody's problem to go and collect money. But before you know, they will not account for the money. And they have conscience. Please, I want you people to go to EFCC after you leave this studio. Let them intervene in this matter. Let them investigate it properly. And let us know the end of the matter. That's why you see in the Western world, they are calling us bad names, because some of them help us, but they don't see the help. You understand that? So please, you people should go to EFCC and ICTC. Let them wait in.
All right.
Even go to inform presidency. Let them know about this matter.
Thank you. Let's go to another call. Definitely. Hello. Your name and where?
This is Destiny Anthony.
Destiny, thank you.
I love this issue you're bringing up, and it looks like this program you just started on this Nigerian vote is going to open up a whole lot. I saw a video sometime online a couple of months ago where a particular committee, I think in Senate in the United States, was actually interrogating a pastor for money received that he spent on buying designers clothes. It's not just this dynamic. We have churches registered as NGOs, as charity organizations. You're raising money from people and you're going into business. So this Dana Air is just like you going to an ocean, you fetch a bucket of water and we are complaining. A whole lot is going on. Let's dig deep into this and then use it to set an example. I'm so happy about this, and if there is any way I can support, probably as in, sending messages on media in any way, coming out, I'm going to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You can hit us. Primorg.org is our website, and info@primorg.org. PRIMORG, that is the spelling of Primorg. Info@primorg.org. Our website is rich with all the information you need, and we also need partners. Volunteer forms are available there. You can always join us in this effort to take away corruption from our body politics. Hello.
I said my name is Mike.
Okay, go on, please, Mike.
Yes. The point I want to raise in this issue of the discussion is it is very unfortunate for an organization or an entity to solicit for money from Nigerians without registration. But like you asked the question, what we need to do to forestall this is that henceforth Nigerians should engage whoever comes asking for donations like this to be sure that they're actually real or actually out for what they're asking for. And also to go about this is to demand for evidence of this and none of that. It is not out of place to ask all those questions because of this kind of things that are happening. It is making the genuine ones, when the genuine ones come up to ask for certain things, they make it big up for them because it's so I'm advocating that Nigerians should, or anyone who comes knocking on your door, ask for.
You should also ask questions back.
Before giving out such money.
All right, thank you so much. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. You're talking of Ghana and Wema. But when government institutions themselves are not doing what they ought to do, that's when we see this kind of thing. But everybody, wherever we find ourselves, we think that we become gods in that place. For instance, I've been calling and mentioning about ITF. Government is the place that they take 1% of all the 1% of salaries from people, from the companies. But you go there, they'll just look at you and charge you whatever they like. We have said this often. And if you went to the National Assembly to see that this thing will stop. But if this thing is templated, it's in the law. Everybody sees it. But because they know you don't have alternative and there's nothing you will do, they will do whatever they like. So every day we keep saying every time I have opportunity of saying it. But this is government institution that ought to know what to do. But because no one is checking, and they want to make as much money as they can from gullible citizens, they will just take it from no person will ask the question. If government institution can do that, how much more these people they're not monitoring people outside. That's why anybody can do anything. So I'm happy that people like this are coming up I just please if they can even try and investigate this kind of government institutions and see how we can stop this mess that's going on in the country.
All right. Thank you so much. Hello.
My name is John July.
Yeah.
I want to say this, that I would like us not to focus on only Wema Bank and Ghana. Let's take it this way. All these people that are the checkpoint, the street light, and there and whatever, you will see some people holding some rubbers or something that they used to collect hams. In the name of maybe they will carry one small boy or a girl or somebody that will be having swallow mouth, this and that they were collecting money for him or her. What is the government? What is the action of government against this? And how are we sure that all those money they were collecting on behalf of these people, are they utilizing the money for them? That's number one. Number two, in fact, how our religious body, the so-called Muslim association or what they call themselves, Christian association, they need to do the needful. Instead of them to do the needful, it is what does not concern them politically that they will put him out. But the affair of their people, of their the people that are worship their in their religion, their affairs, they don't concern. They were less concerned about it. May God just have mercy on us. This thing is seriously getting out of hand, and we need to take things up so that things will come back to normal. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much.
Can things come back to normal?
Okay, things will come back to normal. He just raised an issue that particularly in Lagos, where you find them predominantly in Lagos. People carry triplets. They carry children. Some of them carry children who are sick, and they go along the road. They collect. They raise money for. You see them perpetually on the road.
Oh, here, somebody told me that beggars are dropped at about 5:30 in the morning by trucks, suggesting that it has become a corporate thing. It become a syndicated business. Somebody told me that and said, "Why don't you journalists go and find out things more?"
Now, when it gets to at the individual level where people stay by the bus stops, by the traffic, and they are soliciting, some will be crying arms, and then people are responding to them. You can say, okay, the local authorities can actually deal with them. But when it comes to corporate organization, that is where we actually get to, because the Sickle Cell Foundation got up to 18 million. 18 million.
So it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. 18 million is no small money. And that was as at that time. Only God knows how much Dana Air has raised for the cancer, for all the other groups that they have. But the accountability is what we are talking about.
And Ohiria, talking about giving the public more information in terms of these things you solicit. Why won't an airline, for instance, scroll a history of how the money has been coming, what you have been doing with it? It would even bolster the donation.
The confidence, yes.
You understand? But when you just come with an envelope, you label there, it means you're taking society for granted.
Now,
why are Nigerians not questioning enough?
Let me ask Ajibola, before we come to the reactions to the previous reports we have, what is the next stage in this report? What is the ICIR going to do? Are you just leaving it up there? You are still open to Dana to tell you more? Are you doing this a second step of this your report?
We're willing to have Dana speak to us now, because we cannot wait for them forever. That's why we have to do the first part of the story, and we are hoping that they will be willing to speak in the next report. We also expect that Wema would also find it necessary to speak to us. And of course, I must let you know, the other time when you talked about how are we trying to get this report to the necessary agencies of the government, yes. I must let you know that there are agencies of government that also work with us. They are interested in our work, and I believe that they are also watching. They are taking notes. They are listening to this program as well, and I believe that at the right time they will take action.
Okay, I must tell you that the tone we got from Dana Air was not that of an adversarial tone. They were very friendly. Kingsley Ezewa told me, look, if he were not busy, he would have called into this program, but that he will provide us with the opportunity to hear the side of Dana Air, and that they meant well in the charity. He admitted that, yes, it was not registered at some time, and that they were holding on to the accounts But the question we are asking, and which the reporter is also asking, is why are they not making it public? By the time they come on the program, maybe we'll be able to get all those questions answered, and we'll get to know how much exactly Dana collected in flight on behalf of the various groups, maybe it's sickle cell or it is the Cancer Foundation. How are they disbursing these monies? How much are they getting? Is the public not entitled to have it? But let's quickly.
And why did it take them so long before they go register the stripe bandana? Because, like I said, this company was registered just last year, October 19.
Well, it is in compliance with your role. You hold the government and the people accountable. You hold the government accountable to the people. You are the mirror. And when they saw that you probed, they quickly went to do the right thing. And that's the whole essence of media and journalism. And that's what we're also doing here. Society, yes.
Yes.
We just need him to react.
Okay.
He actually said, did you go to the EFCC? I mean, you just go do a report. You have found certain things wrong. At the end of the day, do you carry along with the police, the EFCC, those who should actually ask better questions? Because if they are invited by these people, they probably will answer.
Our job is to hold the government and the corporate elite accountable, and our job stops there. If some agency, CSO, take up a story and write a petition and approach EFCC and all that, or EFCC, or I mean, they have connection department, they could read our story and all that. That's welcome. But we are not in the business of. I mean, how many investigations are we going to be taking to EFCC or?
The question is actually that the media house publishes a report.
Oh, yes.
Is it not the duty of the police to look at the report and say, look, this thing is wrong? And even ask the media, please, can you give us more information before going to...
When you have done your job as a journalist, put it in the public domain, your job ends there.
Correct.
Except you're going to do follow-ups.
Correct.
But then we are operating in a society that needs to be nudged a bit further.
Yeah, you need to do it.
So the
take some
question is,
extra steps.
Who becomes the ombudsman? Go beyond the ombudsman to the man who now nudges it to the point of even litigation, investigation, and all that.
Well,
There's a missing link.
Yeah, let me also ask him, because one of the callers raised an issue. We have a lot of charity, people asking for public donations. We see it almost everywhere. Where does it lie for passengers inside the plane to begin to ask the pilot or the attendants, what are you using this money for? Where are you registered? Are you registered? Is it easy to do?
I think in some circumstances, yeah, you need to ask some few questions. If somebody is asking you to send money to a particular, you want to know about that organization, do you have a website? I don't think you can have a very clear website of Stripe and Dana. It's enclosed in the Dana Group website.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to even for you to, if you're not very diligent enough, like people who want to investigate to find out. And please, let's not forget, Dana is not the only one here. We also need to find out how Wema was able to register an account whose organization is not registered. You know, I mentioned that.
Yes.
And we said...
That was before they were registered.
Yes, that was before they were registered. And when we asked Dana, I told you, they declined to respond. So what we found later is that, in fact, the chairman of Dana Group is a director in Wema Bank. In fact, it's not just a director, it's a long-serving director at Wema Bank. And that information is also very critical.
Are there in cases in Nigeria where the bank can actually open an account for an individual or for an organization that is not registered? But what did Wema Bank tell you when you asked them?
So, like I said earlier on, we talked to Mrs. Fumi Falola, the head of brand and marketing communication. We sent a message to her, and then when our reporter got to her at the headquarters, she actually confirmed that she got a message. And then, so what the response said, she did not respond because she doesn't have any response for us. And that was the answer that she gave. We also tried to reach to Mr. Tunde Mabawanku, the chief finance officer of Wema Bank. He also declined to comment. And it's very, very suspicious. I mean, I do not want to conclude here that maybe Wema had some kind of arrangement with, but as an investigative journalist, that's an hypothesis I would like to work with.
Now, did the Sickle Cell Foundation find anything funny when this was not going on, when it was going on and it was not registered? They were holding meetings periodically, they were picking up the checks. Did they have any problem with the account being, with the company being registered, the charity being unregistered, or with the account being opened without registration? Did they have any issue with it?
I-
Or they colluded at that time because it was convenient?
That is not clear yet, and this investigation is still ongoing because this is just the first part. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered still, and that might actually lead us to a further investigation because all those dark and gray areas need to be illuminated.
I think we should just quickly take
Okay.
the some from our social media platforms. Fraud between Dana Air and Wema Bank. Fraud between bank account without CAC document. It's a pity where we are heading to in Nigeria. It's time for us to wake up from our slumbers. But if you want to still talk to us, we still have some time. You can reach us through the phone. We're actually interested in you telling us your own personal experience. If you have experiences you want to share with us on this kind of charity that operates everywhere, and unfortunately, and very unfortunately, the church is also involved in some of these charity things. They ask for money, and in some cases, some Nigerian pastors have been driven out from London because they collected monies and they couldn't account for it. It is like it's pervasive. It's the easiest way to just get money from the public. Throw up an issue that people will pity, and then they will bring in money. Then who should be holding these organizations accountable?
And this Corporate Affairs Commission might need to go more nitty-gritty in terms of fishing out anyone who is doing something fishy. You understand? Look at what the
Unless you come to the Corporate
FIRS
Affairs Commission, yeah.
is
Unless you
doing now,
come, yeah. Unless you come
you know.
to the Corporate Affairs Commission with documents to say you want to register. If you are actually operating without registration, like they do for schools.
Yes.
If you are operating a school and you are not registered, they come to the school to ask you, why are you operating legally?
Exactly. That monitoring has to be intensified. Because there are so many people out there. Please, we are not criminalizing Dana yet. We're just talking about what we have seen. Let them come and answer. But it seems that there are so many sharp guys out there. You just mentioned the church. It's become a societal fact that many of us take advantage of a loose situation. And that does not help.
Well, we can still accommodate your opinion as we run on the program. And in a short while, we'll be going to get responses from our previous on our previous episodes.
Yes.
Those who wrote to us were able to take a few mails, and that will be getting ready to tell us exactly what some people have said. We have run very beautiful episodes in the past. You can find on our website and on our YouTube page, Primark TV. You can actually go and watch our previous episodes, and then you react to them. Send us a message, info@primark.org. Let us know how corruption is being fought by you individually, by people around you, and what are the challenges we have that are inhibiting the fight against corruption. But let's go to Adaobi Obiabumo to take us through the segment of our feedback. Those who have listened to our previous episodes who write to us and tell us what they feel about what we have done. Let's get to Adaobi Obiabumo. Adaobi.
Our first mail is from Mary Boltscher in Kefi, and she says, if we can get half of the politicians in Nigeria to take a bold step and act like Dr. Yemi Kali, then, to an extent, we will tackle the issue of corruption. Our second mail is from Gideon in Abuja, and he says, I didn't know that Nigerian government still have someone at the top position who could stand their ground irrespective of the authority they are serving. I learned a lot from Dr. Yemi Kale's comments. I am encouraged that integrity pays off with time. I have just downloaded the video so that I can watch it again and again. I believe that one day, I too can testify on doing what I know is right by the grace of God. Many thanks for your mails. Keep them coming through info@primark.org or call 0902 265-6167.
Yeah, info@primark.org. That last mail is quite
That Yemi Kale outing was actually an eye-opener.
it was one that we needed to show Nigerians that integrity is still available here.
There are good guys
And
on,
there are
on
good
the
Nigerians.
turf.
It's not corruption all the time.
Yes.
And when public conscience zeroes in on corruption, we're also saying that there are those who are doing very well, and we are going to be bringing more people.
You actually pledged that we would be doing that at least once in a month.
Yeah, to get to
bring in somebody who should be a shooting star we want all to emulate.
Now, the subject today is one that related to undeclared Dana in-flight sickle cell donations. Donations that were raised in flight. Passengers are told, we have this laudable project, donate money, and they donate money towards the cause. And during the first period of such collections, Dana Airlines didn't register the organization, but they said they kept an account which they have not made public. The media went into it. ICIR, the International Center for Investigating Reporting, went into it and discovered that there were a lot of questions that were not answered by Dana Air. For instance, we do not know how much Dana Airlines has collected to date for the charity they claim to have done. Their partner, the Sickle Cell Foundation, also found fault in the way they were discarded and discarded in the course of the program. I think it is incumbent on Dana Air to come up to tell Nigerians whom they have who have collected money from them, to tell Nigerians, this is how much we have collected, this is who we have given it to. It's so simple. And our idea, Chukudi, is to create sanity in the body of charity organizations in Nigeria, that you cannot just go to the public and collect money without accounting for it. So many companies also go public, and those who subscribe don't even know what is happening. We are coming. We'll be going into some of those areas.
It is that pervading feeling of impunity. I can get away with anything.
Unfortunately. And again, to also emphasize that the government institutions, government agencies whose responsibility is to carry out acts of monitoring and regulation, should not just allow things to go. Dana Air was not doing it in a hall, locked up somewhere. They were doing it open. They do it open. Laudable as the project is, we are not saying, like you said, criminalizing them, but they should be open to tell us this is what we are
transparent.
doing. And Kingsley Ezewan told,
deserve transparency.
And Kingsley Ezewan told me he will want to let us know exactly what the situation is, and will provide us with all the details. We want to appreciate you who are watching us on Facebook, and please drop a message. Let us know what you think ought to have been done. Let us know if you have a report that we have missed out, if it is not just Dana Airlines, if there are charities, if there are other organizations that you think are doing this. Let us know. We will work with our partners. We have so many of them who are working, digging into reports like this. We will share our stories with them, and we'll work on them and get them to be published, so that all of us can be in a society where things are done normally and in accordance with the law. Almost time to wrap up. We have had a useful exercise, kind of interaction with those of you out there, and we will expect you to drop us a line, info@primong.org. Primong is PRIMORG. Reach out to us, share with us your views. Let's see how we can further this anti-corruption war, the crusade we have embarked on. And we have the support of the MacArthur Foundation to run this radio program, and syndicate it to other radio stations around Nigeria. Wherever you are listening to us, please drop us a line, 090-2265-6167. That is very important to us. It's also a WhatsApp line. Let us hear from you what you think Nigeria should do to move away from this cycle of pervasive corruption that we have found ourselves. But as we wrap up, let's just give the opportunity to our guest, Ajibola Hamzat. He's an editor with the ICIR. ICIR is the International Center for Investigative Reporting. How do you see the efforts being made by the Nigerian media, in particularly in this area of fighting corruption? And how do you think Dana, as an organization, faced with this barrage of questions from everyone, how should they react to it?
I think they should just do the right thing by opening up their accounts and talk to Nigerians how much they've collected. I think they should be more transparent in their processes. And I think the reason why this happened in the first place is because most of our agencies are very weak, especially the regulatory agencies. Their operations are very weak, and that's why the kind of thing that happens in Dana could happen and continues to happen. So Nigerians should continue to ask questions. We, the media people, will continue to do what the constitution obligates us to do, holding the corporate elite, the government, hold them accountable. And that's it.
Chukwudi Okologwaja, a wonderful day.
I think it's been an exciting one. It's always been exciting, but I want to say that this one took the notches up a bit further.
We want to appreciate all of you for being part of the program. We have come to the end of the program, Public Conscience on Radio. And you can put a call to us, like we have said, 090-22-65-6167. And of course, if you prefer the Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, we are in uniform having Official Primong as our handle, Official Primong. You can also join us, and we have reached out, like we told you, to Dana Air, and we readily bring their reactions of the matter to this program. And they were very, very warm in the reception when we called them yesterday and this morning. They are willing to tell us what indeed happened. We have not criminalized them, but if they have done something beautiful, let them share what they have done beautifully with Nigeria. And if they have done anything shady, they cannot account for it. They cannot stop the media from probing into it. We are expecting them, maybe in the subsequent edition of the program, we'll bring them on to be able to reach us. Send us a message through info@primog.org and on our WhatsApp line, 090-2265-6167. On behalf of everybody in the studio and my guests, Ajibola Hamzat from ICIR, the investigative group, the group that did this kind of investigation. I want to appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for coming on the program. And Chukwudi, thank you for piloting with me.
I want to thank the viewers and the listeners. But remember, we're on YouTube as well.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Viewers,
Primal TV, yeah. That's how we're wrapping up the report. Let's do it again on the day the president will be inaugurated, and we'll be talking about the issues of corruption. Look at 4 years in the past, and we'll take a look at 4 years in future. What hope do we have for corruption fight in Nigeria? That will be the focus, and that time will give you all the opportunities to call in and share with us what you think Muhammadu Buhari should do to curb corruption in Nigeria. I'm Okiri Agbonsuremi. Very many thanks for staying with us.